Hey guys, Bowie here, and today we're going to talk about a very specific matchup, Monkey King versus Ember Spirit. As you guys know, with me trying to get to 6k MMR, I'm grinding a lot of Dota, and this specific game caught me by surprise. Actually, I was watching this game because I was looking into techies, even tweeted at this yesterday, and I'm a man of my word, so be sure to remind me of this if it happens. But anyways, FNG was playing techies, and suddenly I realized that no one was creep skipping metal, and by watching closely, I noticed how he somehow was 3-0 in 2 at 10 minutes, even though he laned against a respectable rank 80 Monkey King. So let's watch how to win a seemingly impossible matchup. The most important thing on playing hard matchups is to focus on the basics. You get range creep, you try to deny range creep, and if you can do that, you're probably ahead of the curve, but there's more to this. Using level 1 Flame Guard is pretty standard when playing Ember Spirit, and normal, but note how he only gets the range creep and gets out to not give Jingle stacks to the Monkey King. Even though he loses this melee creep, it's still the right play to wait to draw aggro, because now he can actually do it without giving the Jingle to Monkey King. The Monkey King keeps trying to get Jingle stacks, but as you can see, mid one ended up building an army of creeps already. Since Monkey King's creeps die too fast, no one has an easier time drawing aggro and getting CS because the Monkey King is focusing getting his own CS. Later on, he again uses the Flame Guard to secure the range creep, and these small steps were enough to take no one to level 2.5, but things only get harder against Monkey King, especially if he gets boots and Orb of Venom. Speaking of that, it's imperative to rush boots in this matchup. Sometimes you see players rushing a Ring of Protection to deal with the likes of Ursa and Monkey King middle, but Ember already has 4 armor, and boots is a game changer, so that you can actually draw aggro without being punished against a boots Monkey King. By the way, since no one was able to push the lane, he gets a third wave of creeps for free, because he can draw aggro while the Monkey King is forced to last hit under the tower. That's enough to get him to boots. Note that he also blocks the wave to make sure he gets the best equilibrium possible, but now, Monkey King has Orb of Venom and he gets the first Jingu of the game. He tries to get the range creep, but it's super hard against Monkey King, and he also knows that Monkey King really wants to balance strike, so he sidesteps and manages to live. Note that since Monkey King never used the balance strike, it's incredibly hard for no one to lane now. All he can do is try and draw aggro and somehow squeeze as much golden experience as he can. Boots is actually what saves him from this techies gank from FNG, and while he survives, he needs to disengage now. He has boots, yet doesn't try to use his self to get back to the lane. He makes use of the fact that he has level 2 Flame Guard to stack this camp with the Flame Guard usage, and jungle, since he has to go back to the base anyways. He buys himself another salve, clarities, and with the wave pushing, he can get a couple of extra levels here. He keeps on drawing aggro again and again, and this is where things get juicy. Creep skipping is great, but Monkey King can quickly kill the Ember Spirit if no one just goes up the ramp close to the tier 1 tower middle. What he does in a game where there's no ward on the Dire side is leading Dire to believe he's jungling, whilst being in a position to creep skip away from the Monkey King. Dire actually had a ward showcasing where no one is, and the crazy part is that Monkey King could go after him, but that means losing golden experience, and that is a boots Ember. The Monkey King eventually decides to get back to the lane, and note that no one stops throwing aggro intentionally since he had no vision of the Monkey King for a while, and those creeps were giving away where he was. When he finally locates the Monkey King, he can start drawing aggro again, pretty much getting to level 5. There is a bunch of reasons for him to start creep skipping exactly when he did. The first one is that he had boots, so it's easier, harder for the supports to find him. The second one is that as Monkey King gets level 3+ and Orb of Venom with boots, the lane gets unbearably hard, and on top of that, the catapult wave is approaching. By doing what he is doing, he's making sure that the Monkey King cannot zone him away from the tower and deal a lot of tower damage there. The Monkey King decides to get the creeps, and thus, no one also gets to farm his own creeps. He makes sure not to waste the experience and gold from this melee creep, whilst farming safely and away from the terrifying monkey. He was able to finish his bottle, and note that the Monkey King needs to glyph to keep that Cardi alive. Even then, no one uses his Flame Guard from the safest area possible to draw aggro from those creeps whilst panic pinging the area, zoning the Monkey King and pretty much getting to level 6. It's insane how he got away with this, and while part of this comes from his insane Dota skills, most of this is drawing aggro effectively and great concepts on how to maximize his Flame Guard to survive the laning stage. The reason getting level 6 that fast and killing the catapult are so important is that no one still doesn't want and cannot play the middle lane, but by getting level 6 he actually can rotate and kill heroes, and by killing the catapult the tower pressure is way lower on the Monkey King side. Monkey King also wants to rotate, so now he has this dilemma where he wants to take that tower but he can't, and he has to rotate, giving one lane of creeps to Ember again. So yeah, the Monkey King actually ends up rotating, freeing the lane. He eventually comes back, almost surprising no one because he had Jingle stacks up, but since he has that cell, he's fine. And know that he wants to rotate, but make sure to acquire level 7 before that happens. He gets lucky searching the rune, TP's bottom when Monkey King rotates for the second time. He fights really well here actually. First of all, he used the arcane rune before the TP and he never panicked. A lot of players would have maybe used 2 or 3 remnants, and while maybe he wouldn't have gotten a quicker kill, the charges take time to refresh, meaning you shouldn't burn them that lightly. Also, since he has arcane rune, he can cast it multiple times, eventually killing everyone that was left. What ends up happening is that he's level 9 at 8 minutes, playing one of the hardest matchups out there. The arcane rune definitely helped, but without all of the previous things we talked about, it would have been pointless because it's unlikely he would have been level 7 at that stage or even 6. One thing to note though, is that no one loses this game, but it doesn't take away from everything he did in the early game. And people love when I shit talk players, so there you go, no one is terrible, he lost this game. Alright guys, this is it for today. This is a rather short video, but that's also because, I'm grinding a lot of Dota and I'm going to try and upload every day this week. As you all know, if you want to make this channel more sustainable, you can help with the Patreon rewards. There is also my Twitch and Twitter, where you can get, a little bit of how I'm doing writing-wise in terms of Dota. And I guess that's it. Thank you for watching, and, be safe out there.